Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. We'll get you a quick update of the top stories in this show. Now, our lead story, another shocking death at IIT Madras. And it's the fourth suspected suicide at IIT Madras just this year. Now, a student from Maharashtra was found dead in a hostel room, and the case highlights a concerning trend at the most sought-after institutes of the country, with suicides being reported from IIT Bombay and IIT Guwahati just this year as well. Now, the death at IIT Madras comes just days after the IIT Council, which is the apex coordination body of all the 23 premier engineering colleges. That body agreed to discuss mental health and wellness of students. My colleague Sam Daniel gets us more details about this recent case.
Police have identified this student to be doing his second year B.Tech chemical engineering. He comes from Maharashtra. No suicide note found, but police believe this could be a case of suicide. Investigation is underway, and this is the fourth such death by suicide on campus if it's confirmed. And IIT Madras has condoled the death of the student, and it says no reason known yet. And it says it continues to reach out to students in several ways to help them tide over stress, and it will continue to do that. In fact, IIT Madras director has told us about how the campus has launched a new website to help students develop a positive attitude, a stress-free atmosphere on campus. They also have a Kushal faculty program to help students develop a positive mind and positive attitude. But experts point out several reasons. One could be, although these students, brilliant, many of them, crack the most difficult joint entrance examination, once they come to the campus, they're unable to really cope with the pressure. Some also face issues of compatibility. They come from underprivileged backgrounds and they have the challenge of getting accepted. Also complaints or accusations of sometimes caste discrimination on campus. And IIT Madras says they see the main reason for this unhealthy, unfortunate trend to be the lack of socializing, particularly after the pandemic during the lockdown. And they say they're reaching out in several ways to make sure this is checked.
Now, moving on, the National Investigating Agency is looking into the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch that killed 5 soldiers. Now, the soldiers lost their lives after an army truck was ambushed in a grenade attack that happened on Thursday. Now, investigators say that the Lashkar-e-Toiba may be involved, and they're looking at the possibility of Pakistani nationals carrying out this attack. There are 3 terrorists who are believed to have been involved. Take a look at this report. A massive cordon and search operation by security forces to track down terrorists behind Thursday's attack on the army in Poonch. 5 soldiers were killed in the terrorist attack, and security forces suspect that Lashkar terrorists from Pakistan could be behind the attack.
The attack appears to be well coordinated. The army truck that was targeted and burned during the attack has been hit by multiple bullets from all the sides, indicating that more than 3 militants may have been involved in this attack.
Besides firing steel core bullets, projectiles fired by the terrorists has set the army truck on fire. Security forces have recovered piercing bullets from the attack site. This is the second major incident in the Poonch-Rajouri region in the last 3 months. In January, terrorists targeted Hindu families in Rajouri, killing 7 people and over a dozen were injured. After the attack, Home Minister Amit Shah visited Jammu and set a deadline of 3 months for police and security forces to ensure zero militancy in Jammu. The perpetrators of the Rajouri attack are still at large, but it's unclear if they have any link with the attack on the army. In Jammu, protests were held against the attack on the army, while all parties have condemned the attack. Questions have also been raised over the increase in terror attacks in the region.
These coward Pakistanis targeted an army vehicle. Blood of our brave hearts will not go in vain. Their martyrdom will not go in vain. And all these culprits, these terrorists, will be neutralized.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, आप तो 370 भी नहीं है, 35 से भी नहीं है, फिर आतंकवाद कहां से आ रहा है?
The attack has come weeks before the G20 working group meeting in Srinagar next month, and Pakistan has objected to the meeting in Srinagar. Last week, Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed the preparation of G20 meeting and asked all agencies to work in a coordinated manner for successful conduct of the event. Even as the NIA is joining the investigations into the attack and senior officers have rushed to the area, the challenge for the security forces is only increasing by the day as the threat of militancy from the valley is shifting to areas in Jammu. With Nazir Masoodi in Jammu and Kashmir, Bureau Report, NDTV. This terror attack has changed the lives of 5 families forever. 4 of the killed soldiers were from Punjab and 1 from Odisha. Their families are devastated.
हाँ, मोटा मोटा उन्होंने बताया कि ऐसे ऐसे करके आईडी ब्लास्ट हुआ है। आईडी ब्लास्ट के कारण गाड़ी को नुकसान हुआ। गाड़ी में कोई पता नहीं क्या कौन सी चीज़ पड़ी थी जिसको आग लगी। आग लगने के कारण 4-5 जवान जो पीछे बैठे थे गाड़ी के वो तो झुलसे गए आग से। लेकिन जो मेरा भतीजा मनदीप सिंह था वो आग से बच गया, वैसे गोली के कारण उसकी डेथ हुई।
तो अभी प्रशासन की तरफ से कोई है आपके पास?
प्रशासन की तरफ से कोई नहीं आया।
ମୁଁ ଦେବାଶିଷ ବିଶ୍ୱାଳ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ଡିଫେନ୍ସରେ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଥିଲି। ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଥିଲି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଗର୍ବ ଅନୁଭବ କରିଥିଲି। ମୋ ଗାଁର ଜଣେ ଡିଫେନ୍ସରେ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ସରଳ ସ୍ୱଭାବର ପିଲା ଥିଲା।
ये जो कुलवंत सिंह है ये बहुत ही गरीब परिवार था, ये अकेला ही था। मतलब इनके पहले फादर थे, वो भी कारगिल में शहीद हुए थे। हम सरकार से यही अपील करते हैं कि इस परिवार जो गरीब परिवार है इनकी मदद की जाए और सरकार से अपील करते हैं वो जो आतंकवादियों ने इन पर हमला किया है उनके मतलब उनको मार गिराया जाए या कुछ भी किया जाए उनके साथ।
मैंने भी पता था यहाँ है मेरा भगवान दागना मैं नहीं जोगे कितने सिक्योरिटी का जिम्मेवार का चक्कर चलती।
उसका बेटा भी हरकृष्ण सिंह जी फौज च भज्या ही, उन्हें देश वास्ते जान कुर्बान करती है। पर मेरी भी ਇਹੋ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਦੇਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਦੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਆ।
ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਫੌਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ, ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਦਾ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਸੀ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੀ ਪਰਵਰਿਸ਼ ਸੀ ਉਸੇ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਸੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਵੱਧ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜਨ, ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨ, ਬੱਚੀਆਂ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ।
Now let's focus on the rising COVID cases across the country. And now the Union Health Ministry has written a letter to 8 states that are reporting high cases and high positivity rates. Now the active case count in the country has gone up by 10 times in just a matter of a month, from around 6,500 last month to over 66,000 now. And considering this, the centre has written a letter to 8 states. These 8 states include Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Haryana and Delhi. Remember, more than half of the total active cases in the country currently come from just 3 states. These 3 states are Maharashtra, Kerala and Delhi. These are included in that letter. Now, the letter says that the pandemic is still not over and we must remain cautious against laxity at any level, which may nullify the gains made in pandemic management so far. The letter also asks the 8 states to focus on testing people, tracking the COVID-19 cases, treating the patients and also vaccinating the population, given that a lot of people missed their 3rd dose after the cases started falling. The letter also says that states should ramp up surveillance and genome sequencing as well to detect the possibility of any new variants. So this, of course, is an important reminder for all of us to get back our COVID precautions, wear masks, as COVID clearly has not left us yet. And moving on, the Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned the former Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik for questioning in the Reliance Insurance scam case, and he's been summoned on the 28th of April. Now, he's been summoned as a witness and not as an accused. That's important to note, as he was the one who raised the allegations against the accused in this case. But the opposition is pointing to the timing of this summon, given that it comes just days after Satyapal Malik levelled a a series of allegations against the central government, saying that the government was responsible for security lapses, which resulted in the Pulwama tragedy in which 40 CRPF personnel were killed. You can see the Congress's tweet on your screen criticizing this summon by the Central Bureau of Investigation for Satyapal Malik. And moving on, an FIR has been registered against the Youth Congress President Srinivas BV in Assam after the former Congress Youth Wing Chief Ankita Datta filed a complaint accusing Srinivas of harassment and discrimination. My colleague Ratnadeep Chaudhary gets us more details.
An important development now, Assam Police has formally registered an FIR based on the police complaint, the written complaint which was done by Assam Congress leader Ankita Datta against Youth Congress National President Srinivas BV a couple of days back. In fact, now a formal FIR has been registered in Dispur police station under various sections of the IPC. The main charges against Srinivas BV are that of outraging the modesty of a woman, making remarks which are sexually colored, physical assault, criminal intimidation, trying to restrain, and also he has been charged with section 67 of the Information Technology Act, where he is accused of electronically circulating sexually explicit material. So these are the main charges against Srinivas BV, apart from other sections of IPC based on the complaint of Ankita Datta. In fact, Ankita Datta has recorded her statement under section 164 of the CRPC in front of the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Guwahati. Therefore, Assam Police has started this investigation. On the other hand, Assam Police has also received a letter from the National Commission for Women after National Commission for Women took an suo moto cognizance of the tweets of Ankita Datta and requested Assam Police for a time-bound probe, and therefore Assam CID has been asked to inquire into this inquiry that NCW has asked Assam Police for, and Ankita Datta was questioned at the Assam CID headquarters today.
As we can feel it, the lethal impacts of climate change are getting more clear each passing day. And now a new report from the United Nations has made some very shocking new revelations. At least 15,700 deaths in Europe in 2022 were linked to heat waves, according to this report. It also says that global mean temperatures for the past 8 years have been the highest on record. In 2022, it was 1.15 degrees Celsius above the 1850 to 1900 average. The report also says that for India, in the months of March and April, the heat waves in the country even caused a fall in crop yields. And for India, it also says that 700 deaths were reported in India due to flooding and landslides, and 900 were reported due to lightning. When we talk about Pakistan, the report says that 9% of Pakistan has flooded in the last few years, and the economic loss of those floods has been $30 billion. And the report also talks about China. It says that China's longest, most extensive heat wave has been recorded. It also says that the Antarctic sea ice is at the lowest level on record, and there's a record rise in sea level. So the impacts of climate change getting even more clear with this report, and highlighting how climate change is lethal for all of us. And now focusing on India, and in India, heat wave concerns are rising across the country. There's an unprecedented rise in temperatures in the northeast, and there are several questions that what should be the solution for this. Several states have come up with measures to shut down schools to combat the rising temperatures, but we need to look at solutions beyond that as well. But take a look at what the situation is across the country currently.
It's just mid-April and India's northeast is experiencing an unprecedented rise in temperatures. Last year, it was the Himalayan states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand in the grip of heat waves.
Finally, there is some respite from the scorching sun in Guwahati due to light rains, but in many parts of northeast, like the Garo Hills in Meghalaya and the border town of More in Manipur, temperatures have been almost close to all-time high.
Manipur recorded this year's maximum high so far as Tengnopal district crossed 40 degrees Celsius on April 13th last week according to state data. Almost 5 degrees higher than usual for this period.
It's not normal because the heat is very scorching and intense heat becomes very difficult to bear in More. So kindly the government should look into this matter.
We are probably beyond the tipping point, means we are probably going into that irreversible stage. Our water modeling data shows that by 2030, Northeast is going to have a lot more warmer days. So for example, Arunachal is going to see a lot more drier winter, a lot more landslide, and in March, April, May, which is we call it the summertime, according to IMD, parts of Arunachal is going to see extreme heat waves.
In Meghalaya, the government is looking at solutions beyond shutting schools in 4 districts in the hills that are getting warmer.
We are trying now to focus on what should government do to address this heat wave that is suddenly enveloping several parts of our state.
From Himachal and Uttarakhand in the Western Himalayas to the Northeast within a year, this fast shift of heat wave hotspots should now be a larger concern. With Ratnadeep Chaudhary, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.